Hey everyone, it's Jaden from the Custom Cubes team at SpeedCubeShop.com, and today I'm going to do a quick overview of the GAN 13 Maglev. So as I mentioned, this is just a quick overview of the GAN 13. We'll be doing a full and more formal video on it soon, but for now, let's just jump right into it. So starting off with the box, it comes in this beautiful purple blue color with these like orange highlights on the corner here, which look really good. Front here, we have a picture of the cube, and if we look a little bit closer, we can see a new corner design here for adjusting the magnet strength. So opening this box is a little bit different than on the other GAN boxes. It is held together with magnets, and pretty much you want to open this top flap here. You're gonna open it up like this, move the bottom out like that, and then these two halves are held together with magnets again. You just pull them apart, and you have your accessories, your cube, and the kind of shell case it comes in, and then a card in the middle. On the inside, we have a bit of an exploded design here where everything is spaced out. You can see the corner-to-core magnets here, and you can see the maglev, and then if we look at this edge piece here, you can see that there's a magnet, which we'll touch upon a little bit later. So moving this really cool box to the side and moving on to accessories, which now come in this black box instead of a white box. Opening it up, we see that inside we get a bag, we get an instruction booklet on how to solve the cube, an instruction booklet on how to use the adjustment systems inside the GAN 13, and then yet another card. Now taking a look at the cube and this case it comes in, we can see that we have a GAN logo on the front that is a bit indented, which is where I'm guessing we're supposed to put our finger to open it up. It is held shut with magnets, so that way, when you shake it like this, your cube doesn't just fall out and hit the table. So, really cool design there. And here's the cube. If we pull it out and we take a look on the inside here, which is really hard to get it in focus, there is a little spot where the adjustment tool lays, right here in the front, and we can just pull it out like this, and here it is. So this is the new adjustment tool. As you can see, it is a thin piece of metal here with a thicker edge here where you can hold it, and then a thinner edge that you actually use to adjust all the settings. And now taking a look at the cube itself, we can see that this is the UV coated version. It does come in a frosted coated version, which is $77.95 at SpeedCubeShop.com, and this UV coated version is $83.95. Both cubes come in at 56 millimeters, and they also come in at 71 grams. And as of right now, there is only a stickerless option available. I don't know if in the future they're gonna do a stickered version. They might not. So as of right now, we only have a stickerless option available. Now we're gonna do some first turns here and see what our first impressions are going to be. This cube is really fast. So along with it being really fast, it is also a fair bit flexible out of the box. These are all factory settings. I haven't changed them at all. This is how they are out of the box. And I'm honestly a bit surprised. This is not something that I would definitely recommend to someone who's not used to setting up their own cubes. It seems a bit too fast, really. I'm willing to bet we could do a U3 with minimal effort. Or a U4. We could do a U4. So really, I think that's more of a sign of it being way too fast. I don't think it should really be doing a U4 with such little effort. A U2 maybe, but a U4 is definitely a bit much. Now let's take a look at the corner cutting. This is 45 here. Okay, a little bit of resistance at 45. Still pretty easy though, pretty effortless. Let's do a little more, just a tad bit more than 45, and okay, so not great, a bit of a lockup there. Ooh, yeah, so it doesn't seem to do much more than 45. How about some reverse corner cutting? This is right on the line there. Oh, really effortless. Whoa. Okay, a bit of a lockup there, so okay. Originally, I thought these were supposed to be like probably one of the looser settings, but judging that the corner cutting only goes to about 45, I'm guessing we might be on some stronger settings, which is surprising because of how flexible and how fast it is. My suggestion so far for this would be, if it's not already on some of the stronger settings, I would definitely say move it to the stronger settings and then maybe put something like Nebula in to slow it down a bit. But for right now, let's just take a look at what's underneath this center cap. So underneath the center cap, we have this dual adjustment here where we have numbers on this inner ring here, and these little kind of grooves here will line up to certain numbers. So right now it is on setting 3, and then we have this kind of like a weird kind of spokes coming out from the side here design, and all of those correlate to these little triangles here that are on the edges of this centerpiece here, and it looks like those are also on setting 3, so probably right in the middle. There are 6 settings you can put it on. It goes 1 through 6 for both. So this top part here is the center travel adjustment, and to adjust it, you take your tool here, you put it in one of the grooves, and you lightly turn it clockwise. If you use too much force, you'll probably skip over some of the numbers there. From what I just found out, that seems like 1 is the strongest setting and 6 is the weakest, where it resets. So if we just move clockwise and we go back to 1, it should take a little bit more force to go to 6, and it does. So 6 is definitely where it resets. 1 is the strongest, 6 is the weakest when it comes to the center travel adjustment. I'm going to set it back to 3, that way the tensions are even all around on the cube. And now we're going to move to the tensioning adjustment, which is this lower wheel in the back. So to adjust the tensioning, which is this second wheel on the bottom here, again, you just stick it in between in the opening right there, and you gently turn clockwise to adjust your settings. You don't need to use a lot of force, so if you do, you might overshoot and skip a couple numbers, so just be wary of that. It seems like when it comes to the tensioning, it seems like 6 is the strongest and 1 is the weakest here, so yep, so it definitely reset when I went to 1. So now let's take a look at the corner adjustment here. It appears it is on 3, so it seems like everything out of the factory is just on setting 3, which I'm guessing is just pretty much like the most middle setting you can get. So we have a little arrow here that's pointing forward, which I'm assuming means that we're going to push this wheel forward, and we're going to keep moving it, and it resets back at 6, which usually when it resets, it usually means it's on the weakest setting. But in the case of the corner here, and it's really easy to show you, in the case of the corner, when it resets back to 6, it actually means it's on the strongest setting. So as we push the settings forward here, you can see that this little piece here moves closer and closer into the corner. So right now we're on setting 1, and when I move this to setting 6, you will see that the corner stock actually jumps out a bit, which means it's moving closer to the core, which means that the magnet strength is going to be a little bit stronger. So when it comes to the corners, 6 is the strongest setting. When it comes to center travel, it is 1, and then when we go to tensioning, it is also 6. And now let's take a look at the edges. So as I mentioned earlier, there is a magnet in the edge piece, which instead of attracting, like the corners do, to the core, this actually repels the core, which I am assuming adds to the smoothness of the feel, making it a little bit faster, and it kind of glides a little bit better. In closing, the GAN 13 is a fast and fairly flexible cube out of the box, but that can be easily fixed by adjusting the settings on the cube. It has pretty okay corner cutting. It's nothing amazing, but it's still pretty good. The performance is pretty good on the cube, especially when you have your settings right and exactly where you want them. I have, however, noticed that for me personally, I tend to get more corner twists on the 13 than I ever did with the 12, but even then, it's still pretty rare for corner twisting to occur. I do like that we have more options when it comes to magnet strength. There are 6 options instead of 3, which is super nice. You can be a little more accurate on how you want your magnet strength to feel. When it comes to the center adjustments, I don't like nor do I dislike the new design. I'm pretty neutral on it, but I do like that the tool needed is small, easy to store, and only need to use one side of it. The only thing I really don't like about the cube is the price tag. Other than that, I think the cube is fine. It's not bad by any means. It's still an excellent cube. I just wish that the price was a little bit lower. Anyways, that's all for now. Be sure to leave a comment letting us know what you're most excited for about this cube. Make sure to like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell to be notified when the full in-depth review for the GAN 13 Maglev comes out, which should hopefully be soon. We appreciate your guys' support, and that's all for now. Take care.